Vacant home crisis is now on the target in America. Empty homes littered across America, owned by who? Foreign investors. That's what our countries have been calling them for years. No, it's Chinese money laundering. Chinese money laundering has basically destroyed affordability in pretty much every English-speaking country on the planet. Now, what are we talking about? Well, let's talk about what's happening right now in Montana. Miss Saunders, if you guys remember the video we posted last week from Mike in the Night, we were discussing how it's time to take America back. Why are communists being allowed to own our farmland, mines, homes, basically buying up everything we have? Yes, they're labeled as foreign investors under the Biden regime and under the Trudeau regime. They're foreign investors. They're here to support our economy. No, that's just basically exporting your infrastructure to China is what you're doing. And they're keeping it on your land, right? It's not creating anything but problems and affordability issues, right? And that's causing this vacant home crisis is causing artificial shortages, in turn disallowing people to get into a market, a housing market in a city that they were born and raised in. Now, I took some notes here because I think this is kind of important. Now, basically, it's politicians lining their pockets is what it is, and why they've allowed this to go on for so long now. Now, national estimate as of early 2025, there are approximately 8.6 million vacant homes across the United States, a figure that has sparked discussion about the housing crisis. But what's really bizarre about this, we have a video up that we posted in 2018, and we reported there was 17 million vacant homes across America. So I'm getting a completely different, we had a lot more in 2017, in 2018 there was 17 million. But in 2025, it's down to 8.6 million vacant homes. I don't believe that. I think what one thing is giving me, it's telling me that there's 8.6 million abandoned homes, not the 17 million homes. So it's kind of skewed trying to find these numbers, right? Per capita comparison, this number translates to about 13.2 vacant homes for every person experiencing homelessness nationwide. Now, on trends in the housing market in 2016, I remember this. I remember there was, I think it was 340 units in LA County for every one homeless person. There was 340 or 345 empty units in LA County for one homeless person. I'm not advocating for free housing for people. I'm advocating for wages and pensions to be in line with real estate prices, right? And recent statistics in January 2024, roughly 751,000 individuals were experiencing homelessness in the United States. That's 751,000, and that's in January 2024. A 2014 article by Global Finance Integrity highlighted that the U.S. laws and regulations have facilitated the outflow of illicit money from China, totaling approximately $1.08 trillion between 2022 and 2011, and parked in U.S. real estate. So 2011 kind of slightly slowed down a bit because Mark Carney, the Bank of Canada, was diverting now capital flows from China into Canada. Right during the 2010 Olympics, Canada opened itself up, park your money here, no questions asked. And they invented something called the Vancouver model. We got videos about that going back to 2012, talking about the Vancouver model, how it's basically destroyed the Canadian proper and disallowed Canadians from participating in their own housing market. Now, America has, so it goes on to say, a report by U.S. Dwelling noted that more than $2.4 trillion was laundered through U.S. real estate from 2015 to 2024. Again, this is Chinese money laundering. This is not like Iran or Russia. This is from mainland China. And remember when, what's his name there? Xi Jinping announced himself Emperor of China. What was that, in 2020, 2019, 2020? A lot of people in China got nervous. And a lot of people had a lot of illegal funds. They needed to move. They used crypto for the longest time, but they used casinos, they used colleges and got refunds back. And another way they did it was they did crypto, they did a lot and suitcases coming in. Piles of suitcases coming in with cash. And we told you guys the day of the Biden selection that America's going to turn into Amerifornia with multiple layers of government, taxes, and all kinds of stuff. And prices were set to double. Even in rural real estate areas in America, they're going to see prices double. And a major metropolitan large cities with high-value real estate markets such as New York City and Los Angeles have been attractive markets for money laundering. For instance, Los Angeles affluent suburbs like San Marino have numerous luxury homes owned by international buyers, particularly from China, many of which remain vacant. Now, I got the top 10 cities in the United States with Chinese laundered money. Okay? Number 1, New York, New Jersey, and Newark. I don't know why it's combined, but New York, New Jersey, and Newark are in one, which is really bizarre. $17.7 billion, and they're estimating 955,437 vacant homes. Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Anaheim. It's kind of weird how they picked that one up too. $14.4 billion laundered. 412,877 vacant homes. San Francisco, $9.7 billion. That's 91,212 vacant homes. San Jose, California, $5.4 billion, 23,769 vacant homes. And Boston, $5.1 billion laundered, 7,122 vacant homes. Seattle, $4.7 billion laundered, 19,211 vacant homes. Now, Seattle, Washington State, well, when in 2016, the video's up, you could watch it on our channel, Vancouver put on the foreign buyer's tax on foreign investing, because on foreign investing, the local Canadians couldn't even afford to rent a room. They were advertising tents on balconies for rent. Tent on a balcony for rent in Vancouver. That's how bad it was. People were putting bunk beds in one-bedroom apartments in condominiums. They had 6-7 bunk beds in there. That's how bad it was, that the locals couldn't even get in to breathe anything, because they couldn't compete with the money laundering and the bidding wars, right? And in 2016, Vancouver put on the foreign buyer's tax, and that video's up. Chinese in a frenetic pace heading to Seattle to destroy that market. The Chinese head to Seattle once Vancouver put on the foreign buyer's tax, and they went to Toronto and destroyed that market literally after 2016. Look at the numbers, you'll see what I'm talking about. Destroyed both markets overnight. Money laundering destroyed us. And then looks like it's Washington, D.C., $4.4 billion laundered, 4,210 empty homes. Chicago, $4.1 billion laundered, 133,000 vacant homes. Honolulu, $1.2 billion laundered, 25,122 vacant homes. And Houston, $1.1 billion, 11,987 empty homes. So, this is just very specific concentrated areas, but then you got a lot of rural areas that are basically bought up by dirty money, right? And this is why you can't afford to buy food today. We were wrong with our dates. People are going back to my 2012 video and me saying you won't be able to afford to buy food by 2020. People are saying I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I knew they were going to pull the trigger on a pandemic. I knew they had to shut this down. I knew what was in the cards. The videos are up saying that. So I'm not just saying this post-diction and telling you we said it. It's all up. Anything you want to look up that I've said here, you will find videos corresponding to that going back 10, easily 10 years or 12 or 13 now. You will find. And this is why I think America is going to go after the vacant home crisis next. I think they're going to start realizing these artificial shortages have impoverished Americans. Somebody somewhere is watching these videos, and someone somewhere is taking notes on these videos, and somebody somewhere is challenging what I'm saying. And they're starting to realize that, oh, wait, this guy's not making this stuff up for the last 15 years. This stuff is for real. This is the economic warfare we've been facing here. Now, Canada is in the United States, but then you got places like Scotland that was ripped apart by Chinese money laundering. Ireland, all these English-speaking countries, New Zealand, Australia, they all open up their doors to foreign investing. Foreign investors is the key to our future. Homeowners become wealthy overnight on paper, while people out of the market will never be able to get into the market. Do you remember those real estate agents back in the day in 2014, 2015? If you don't buy now, you'll never be able to get into the market. Why? Because people were competing with money launderers. And governments weren't going to give up that cream, that juicy vitamin C, orange, beautiful, pungent orange. They wanted to keep that going. They wanted to keep that juice flowing because they knew that the Canadian proper couldn't get into their own real estate. They knew eventually the American proper would be bought out of their own real estate too. And what, right? They were going to try to keep this going, right? They were going to pull the trigger on more pandemic. They were going to do whatever they had to do to keep shutting this down and basically eliminating the Canadian proper, eliminating the American proper, eliminating and being replaced, right? Anyways, let me know what you guys think in your comments below. This video, I guess, is mainly about Chinese money laundering in the United States. We do have videos referencing this going back 10 years. And not only that, vacant home crisis is going to come next. And there's going to be, we made a video on how already. I think in 2018, we made a video on how to start striking down the vacant homes and start putting them back up to not auction for foreigners to buy them on their cell phones, an auction for locals to be able to buy real estate in their own cities and homes and towns and giving back the country to their people. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Am I overreacting or am I just delusional or I don't know what I'm talking about? Let me know in the comments. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.